Hello and welcome back to the allotment. Today I'm giving you a little bit of a tour about what's going on, what I still need to do, and what I'm going to be taking out of the allotment and what's going in its place, because it's that kind of getting towards that transition period for a few of my crops now. So let's take a little tour around the plot. So this is from where my polytunnel is, which is about 2/3 of the way down. I've just got a half plot. I share with my neighbour here, so we've just got the shared path in the middle, and then this half is all mine. So this is from where the polytunnel is. Past the polytunnel, this is the area we don't talk about, and the area I need to work on ASAP, because I need to get a compost bay. Look at it down here, it is horrendous. I feel really bad because it looks atrocious. I think what I'm going to do is pull out all of these weeds, sort out the rubbish that I've got down there, which is some things from like the fruit cage that I had, which was where my polytunnel was, and I need to pull out all of the weeds basically. But it's these horrible weeds, and I need to get these up before they flower and then they spread. Anyway, this is the top of the allotment. I'm just outside my gate and looking all the way down, so you can also see that my rose arch here has dropped all the petals where it's been really windy. Anyway, we're going to start at the top here and then work our way down. So this big bed here was a bed that I dug over kind of late, and I was going to put parsnips and things in here, but it's turned into the place where I'm going to put my brassicas, mainly because I thought it was too late to do parsnips. You guys told me that it wasn't too late to do parsnips, but I decided to put my flax, so I've got some flaxseed plants, which I'm hoping, oh look, an interesting bug on there. I'm hoping that these will give me a little bit of seed that I can use at home, because I do like to have some like flax seeds and stuff on porridge and that kind of thing. So I'm hoping, I just planted out a few, but I'm hoping that these do give me something. I've not grown them before, even if they just have some really nice flowers. I mean, just, it's in the soil, isn't it, and using up some of the soil space. But I also have in this little hoop here some purple sprouting broccoli. I've also got purple sprouting broccoli outside the hoop with some of the organic slug stopper. It's not the harmful one, even though it is blue, don't panic. It says organic and suitable for organic gardening on the tub, so this is what I've got to try and stop them from munching everything, because I've tried several times. I did have swede in here and the swede is just gone. So yeah, you can't see them really very well through the rose petals, but yeah, some purple sprouting broccoli and some calabrese broccoli, I think. And then yeah, same in here, some purple sprouting calabrese and some tender stem as well. And down the bottom there, down here, we have some kale, which is trying its best, and one plant of the tree cabbage just there. But I've also got some red kale in there, so hopefully it will do okay. But it's doing much better now that I've got the cover and some slug stopper and stuff. And then we've got nasturtium corner. I like to add this to salads, so I'm hoping that it gets some nice flowers. I've got 3 different varieties here. I don't know what this one is, but you can see it's got a completely different leaf to this one here. Oh, look at that bug. He's interesting. Yeah, these ones have really big leaves. I've also got some self-seeded nasturtium from a nasturtium that was in here before, from the previous plot holder. Oh, these ones are tutti frutti nasturtiums, but I'm excited to see all of the orange flowers here and just have it like a bee haven. Here we have potatoes, which I have dug out some. These are the second earlies, which are still quite small potatoes, so I've left them in. These are ones that did have small potatoes and from the first earlies, and I replanted them, but you can see they're not doing fantastically well at all. So I may pull these up, but in here, because these need coming up ASAP, in here is going some sweet corn. I'm growing two different types, so I'm growing the ordinary, you know, yellow sweet corn, and then I'm also growing glass sweet corn for popcorn kernels. So that's going to go in here, and they're waiting in the polytunnel ready to go in. Here is my garlic and onions, which I'm going to pull out now because they are not doing well. The leaf miner has taken quite a few of my onions. Quite a lot of my onions are like this, like there's just no leaves left, and I don't even think that the onions are viable inside. Like I think this one's rotted here. Which is a shame, because usually I do my garlic and onions, or have done at home, and they've done really well. So I'm quite annoyed that these haven't done too well, and also they're just flowering left, right and centre. So I'm going to pull all of this up, turn the bed over. I do want to try and do no dig as much as possible, but where there's, you can see there's like bindweed haven. I think that my plot neighbour that side has used some kind of weed killer, I'm not sure. This wasn't like this the other day when I came up, but they are dying. So he must have used some kind of weed killer, I reckon. Yeah, I'm going to pull all of this up, and then in here we're going to put some more broccoli. Probably actually some cauliflowers, because I've got a tray of cauliflower in the polytunnel ready to go in. So these two beds need to be dug up and replaced. Sweet corn, cauliflowers. Just going to take a moment and admire the scapes on my elephant garlic, because look how beautiful they are. I'm actually going to cut them off and take these home to use in cooking, because in this bed here I've got garlic and onions yet again. Same problem with my onions. The leaf miner has just been terrible. Next year I know that I'm going to have to cover them, which is a shame. But yeah, all of this needs to come up. And then I do have some peas here, which are kind of, look at this one. Just popping out. He needs picking. The plants are kind of like done. I've picked some peas. This plant's still going. But I think all of this bed is going to turn. I've got sugar snaps and more peas in the polytunnel, so I'm going to dig all of this bed up as well and put just peas, just all peas. Two lovely rows of normal peas, Kelvin and Wonder, and then sugar snaps. And it's just going to be a pea heaven, because my peas, you'll see over there, are doing really well. This is the bed that I hoped would do really well, and thankfully it has, because I love beetroot and this is all my beetroot. At the moment we have lots of kind of baby beets, and I am tempted, look at that one, I am tempted to pull these, some of them, and start pickling. But there are lots of beets of varying stages here. These are, wherever my label is, these are Chiagogia beetroots, so they've got like the rings in them. I think some of these are actually Detroit beetroots as well, I'm not sure. And then this side I've got the golden beetroot, which I've not tried before and I'm so excited, but again, varying states of growth. Once I've picked these, just more beetroot is going in its place. Possibly even some lettuces, not sure, but beetroot is staying here. I'm so excited to pick it. Over here as well, in these two beds, there's not really much to report here, but I do have squashes and pumpkins. So I've got three types of squash, courgettes around the outside. So these three, and then similarly on that side, those three are courgettes. I've got a yellow courgette, defender courgette, and tiny little round courgettes as well. And then the squashes, I've got a mixture of, this one's sunshine, that one is Amazonica, and then I've got 2 Yuchiki Kuris over there, and then courgettes around the edge as well. The aim is that they're going to grow up and over this archway. I was going to put 2 archways in, but I've only managed to 1. I may still purchase another archway, but we'll see. In the middle here, I've got my broad beans, which I've picked a bunch of. You probably would have seen in previous videos. And these need to come out soon. I'm waiting for some of these smaller ones on the top here to get a little bit bigger. And then pick them all, cut them back, and then in here there's more beetroot going because I just can't get enough of beetroot. So we'll have 2 beds of beetroot, and I think I'll also interplant with other things, some radish maybe, but yeah, this is another bed that's coming out because it's given me a bunch of broad beans. I'm so pleased. It's the first time growing broad beans, so I'm really pleased that I've been quite successful with them. We've got 2 sort of larger beds here. In this one we've got some spinach and some chard. So the chard is doing really well, as you can see. This is the Rainbow Brights, and I've got lots of different things of chard. I'm going to pick a few of these today just so that it keeps growing up. I don't think I needed to plant this many chard plants because I don't eat that much chard by myself. But oh well, I just like to see it grow, and it's something to fill the soil, isn't it? Even if I don't eat all of it, it's something to fill the soil, keep it nice and healthy. And all of this spinach as well, I need to go through and pick some spinach. There are 2 different types. There's perpetual, which I don't know which is which because I mixed them all up, and then normal spinach. I think this is like a baby normal spinach, and then these larger ones are the perpetual. The perpetual gets like the chard. I've grown it at home before and it got bloody massive. Also in this bed we've got more nasturtium. These are all self-seeded. There was a big nasturtium plant here, so these have all self-seeded. I'm not disappointed. I did have coriander down the side, but the slugs ate it. There's a little tiny patch of coriander just there, so I may still get some, fingers crossed. And then on this arch here we've just got some runner beans, so ordinary runner beans on here, and then some borlotti beans on the end. And on the other side we've got borlotti beans, and I've got drying runner beans so I can have some butter beans. I'm really excited about those. Here are the beds that have not really much in them. I've tried to grow carrots, and I'm going to try and grow and seed some more carrots in here ready for the autumn, and I'm hoping that they will grow. There are like 1 or 2 little carrot things still there, but I've got my spring onions, and got another load ready for picking, so a lot of these are ready for harvesting. I'm keeping, oh look, there's a carrot there and as well as some weeds, but I need to sow some more spring onions so that I can have some successions, and I need to get some carrots, so I'm going to seed some of the little tiny carrots here, like just in the middle. That's something that I need to get on and do ASAP. Also in this one I forgot to say, I do have leeks, and some of these leeks here are kind of pencil thickness, so I can start to put them out because this is where we're going to have some leeks here, or potentially I'll put carrots here and then the leeks in this bed. I don't know, I haven't made up my mind yet, but we'll decide at some point. And then here I did try and grow some radishes. They're going to flower, so, or running to seed, whatever you want to call it, but they've all been eaten, and nothing that I've grown in this section has been successful. And I'm thinking it was because there was a mass of weeds and bindweed here, but since I've got a new plot neighbour, that's been cleared, and I think a lot of the things was hiding down here and just coming up here and having like a picnic, because I also had beans. I've replaced my beans now. These are all borlotti beans, not my bean of choice. I did have edamame in here, but they all got eaten. But I have protected them with the organic slug stopper. And I've got a peach melba nasturtium in there, which I'm really excited because it's like light peach flowers. Beautiful. And you can see that there are a bunch of weeds and stuff that I need to pick out. The weeding is just a constant thing, and when I got this plot it was full of thistles and bindweed, and it still is. It is proving difficult to get rid of it all, but we're persevering. Like you can see, we're persevering. Got some last couple of beds. You can see all of the weeds here as well. They just, oh my god. But I've got sweet corn. This is my normal yellow sweet corn. It's got a little bit ravaged beforehand, as you can see from the leaves, but now it's starting to grow, and I've got a couple more that I'm going to put in down the rest of the bed there to fill it out, so we've got a nice grid. Obviously I need to get rid of all these weeds and everything first, but we'll come to that. All of my sweet corn and everything's ready in the polytunnel, and it's doing well in there. I'm not too like eager to get it out because it's doing fine. So here we have the best bed ever because it's full of sugar snaps. I love sugar snaps, and it's given me, like this one's ready to pick, it's given me so many already. Look at all the flowers, it's so prolific. It's just gonna keep going and going. I need to string it in because it's starting to fall over. These ones down here have got a little bit, slug damaged and stuff, but we're fine. I probably had too many plants anyway because this little patch is the main patch I've been picking from, and it's just like all of the sugar snaps. In here I've also got shallots, so some of these are ready to come up, so some of them are getting quite big, so I'm going to pull these up as well. And in here I'm going to put some more carrots. So as soon as these have gone, carrots are going to go in, ready for an autumn-ish harvest, which I'm excited about. You can see here my bean structure, which I need to support because it is kind of coming together a bit. So I'm going to put a little cane along the top just to strengthen it, and maybe one of the longer canes along the top as well to strengthen. But all of my beans will hopefully grow up and over, and we'll get like a nice canopy of beans. In this bed we've got mainly kale over there, so I've got two varieties. I've got some purple kale, and I've got a kale variety called Candy Crush, which should be pink. I'm excited to see what that's going to be like, but it doesn't look like it's doing too well, mainly because it took forever to come in the post via plug plants, and the plug plants were dry as anything when I received them, so that was fun. But we have second early potatoes in here. We've got some beautiful flowers. I've already harvested 3 kilos of potatoes from the allotment, so this should give me quite a few more, as well as those other ones that I've got at the front there. And I've got to go in their place a little bit once I've picked these. We've got some sweet potatoes. I did buy these from the garden centre, from Dobby's. So they're just 2 different types of sweet potato. Not grown them before, so we'll see how they go. But yeah, and then we've got my big pumpkins. So these are my 100-weight pumpkins. They're doing nicely at the moment, but hopefully they're going to grow nice and we get some nice big pumpkins and it will sprawl all over here. This is my harvest from today: sugar snaps and broad beans. Down here I do plan to do some more courgettes and squash. I need to get some in quickly. I need to seed some actually, because I've used them all. I didn't realise I was going to use all my plants, but I've used them all over there. I could move some if they become too big, but this is going to be pumpkins, squash. Oh, I do have butternut squash in there actually, so that's going to go in here. Also down here I've got a pot of mint, 2 different types of mint. So we've got apple mint, which is this one, and then berries and cream mint, and it's doing quite nicely. My dahlia that I planted not doing any, well, maybe a little bit there, but it's not loving life there. My rhubarb has got a little bit of a growth spurt and a little bit of like a second wind type thing. I'm thinking of picking a few of the smaller stems, not sure, but yeah, some nice rhubarb finally, because it didn't grow. Maybe it's the later variety, I'm not sure, but it didn't grow when everything else was growing. Finally, the things people are probably the most interested in are the tomatoes and how they're doing. I've got 8 plants of tomatoes, 5 on this side and 3 on this side in the bigger pots, and my plot neighbour gave me 4 littler tomatoes that I need to pot on. But the ones that I've grown myself, I've got this one which is starting to get, I've got lovely flowers. Where are some that are growing on this? Are there any? Not sure. Anyway, these ones are, oh, there's one. They were right here. These are Sweet Million. I've grown these before and they are fantastic. Bloody love them. This one is a beef tomato variety called Marmande, and you can see I've got a really nice one growing there. Lots and lots of flowers up here. This one is Sun Gold, which is one of my favourite tomatoes in the world. They are absolutely delicious. I hope on the other side, because I don't know what the plants are on the other side, that I've got like a couple of these. But I've got tiny little tomatoes growing. This one's slightly bigger. Then we've got the green zebra, which has finally got some flowers coming here. I'm excited for this one just because of the look of it. And then I've got this one, which is Crimson Cocktail, which they're all flowering, which is good. Give it a little tickle. And on this side, again, I don't know what variety these are. This one looks like a green zebra just because based on what the leaves are doing on the other one. So this has got some really nice flowers as well. This one, I don't know what it is. It looks similar to the Crimson Cocktail, but I could be wrong. I don't know how to tell. But again, tomatoes growing. This one, don't know the variety. Lots of flowers. This may be a Sweet Million because it looks more prolific, and I know the Sweet Millions are very fruity. They give lots and lots of tomatoes in like big clusters. So I think it's a Sweet Million. And I have a feeling, oh, this may be a Sun Gold. It may be a Sun Gold because it looks similar to the other one. And then we've got cucumbers, which need a little bit of a prune and a bit of a larger stick. But we do have cucumbers coming, which is exciting. This one here as well. These ones are Bella variety. I've not grown them before. But look at the cucumbers. Yeah, I need to sort the sticks out for those. On the table we've got lots of chilies. Some of them have died. But they have, oh, this one's got a chili growing. There we go, that's exciting. This one is a Zitava pepper. Okay. They've all kind of growing quite nicely. This one's got flowers and is starting to fruit. Dragon tongue. Californian Wonder, the sweet pepper, I was hoping it was going to get quite big because this is like a bell pepper plant. I don't know if it's going to give me bell peppers with the size of it. It's not very big, is it? Look. But we'll see. Yeah, this one here, I forget this one's name. I think this one is a chocolate habanero or something like that. That one's doing well. And then these are just various ones that I've got secondary plants of. But I think I'm going to get quite a few chilies from these anyway. I'm not quite sure what's going on with these leaves, but it's doing okay. It's fruiting. It's got a fruit on it. I've also got aubergines back here, which are loving life, getting nice and big. And then I did buy this tequila sweet pepper from the garden centre. It's got purple fruits, so I'm excited for that. And these are also the things I bought from the garden centre. So I've got butternut squash and some small green pumpkins as well. And then these all need to go in. So we've got my sweet corns, cauliflowers, some celery. I forgot about my celery. And some broccoli plants, I think, that I've got. Oh, kohlrabi and broccoli that I've got from the garden centre. So yeah, don't mind the polytunnel, it's just going to take off into space. But oh, I forgot these are the beetroots that I've got growing. So golden beetroots, chigogia and some Detroit, and then peas as well, ready to go in. So that is the entirety of my allotment. That is in fruit. So those are my plans, what I'm going to do with some of the beds that I'm going to clear out, and yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have a nice harvest of some winter vegetables. I'm really excited about my beetroot and more peas and the tomatoes and everything, of course. I'm just so excited for everything. You know, when you look at your allotment and I think to myself, am I growing too much or am I not growing enough? Because sometimes I think I don't have that many like varieties in vegetables, but I'm growing the stuff that I always eat, so that's all that matters, right? But I hope you enjoyed my allotment tour. Let me know if you have any advice on what I should grow in the beds that I am going to empty out, and if you think I should be growing something that I'm not for the winter. Like, we need to get on the winter vegetables now, don't we? So I'm excited. Let me know in the comments below. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.